So hello everyone, welcome to EduTap, and I feel immense pleasure in announcing that today I'm having with me Mr. Vipin Tyagi, who has been recently selected as a RBI Grade B officer. So Mr. Vipin, first of all, heartiest congratulations to you for being selected as an RBI Grade B officer, and a warm welcome to you on this success story live session on EduTap.
Thank you so much.
So how's your feeling right now after being selected as an RBI Grade B officer?
The feeling is great, sir. Now it has been 10 days since the result was out.
Yes.
So on that day, the feeling was at its peak, but yeah, it's there still lingering there.
Lingering there. That's really good. So guys, today Mr. Vipin has really got a lot of things to tell you about the preparation strategy. How did he basically prepared for the RBI Grade B exam, and we will be discussing all those particular points. So let's start with the brief introduction of yours from Mr. Vipin itself. So sir, please tell us our aspirants about yourself.
Okay, so as you already know my name, I am Vipin Tyagi. I did my schooling from Kendriya Vidyalaya Muradnagar. That is my hometown in the Ghaziabad district. After that, I went for chemical engineering to HBTI Kanpur for 4 years, 2011 to 15. After that, I gave GATE examination and joined Bharat Petroleum Corporation as management officer. After working there for 2 years, I had to leave the job. Then I started preparing for civil services in the middle. Then I got this job at Central GST in the meantime. So I'm currently working here, and I gave RBI and CGL exam this year, and I cracked both of them. So, but I won't be needing the CGL now. So that's my story.
Okay, that's really good. So in everyone's journey of this becoming RBI Grade B officer or any other target that they always aspire for, so there are some obstacles, some hardships that you feel that you face. So what were your hardships, and how did you basically face them and defeated them to come out as a winner?
Yeah, so I heard some toppers strategy when I began my preparation. So she was talking about decoding the exam. So I thought about it in depth. What does it mean? How do we decode something? So is it really coded? The syllabus is out there, previous year questions are out there. So then why do we say it is coded? So when I thought about it, I realized that the pointers mentioned in the syllabus, they are just key to a doorway. So when we open the doorway, we find so many other subtopics inside it. So by decoding, I understood that I have to first divide the syllabus into as many small pieces as I can, then work upon those pieces and then piece them together to make it a beautifully looking preparation which is aligned with the syllabus. So when I tried to do that micromanagement during my preparation, so I faced some difficulties. Sometimes I would fail in my timelines, in my schedules. Sometimes I would fail to generate to collect quality content on certain topics. So but then I understood that failures are stepping stones to success. These kind of challenges, they come in every aspirant's preparation. Nobody can be perfect in how we prepare for these examinations. But then another thing was failing to plan is planning to fail. So I had to do some planning. So with everyday course correction, there is a Kaizen technique in Japanese management, which I did management from EduTap PDFs only, so it was mentioned there.
Yes.
So that is mentioned that the process of continuous small improvements. So I tried to bring in that into my preparation. So obstacles were there, but then they were ruled out one by one like that.
And apart from the preparation, there are also some obstacles in life, as you are already mentioned that you were a working aspirant. तो आप working aspirant थे, and उस काफी time की कमी रहती है. So how did you manage that particular time doing your working hours and then preparing for the exam as well?
My office timings are from 10:30 a.m. to 6 p.m.
Yes.
roughly. So I would try to study at least 3 hours in the morning, because I had learned one golden rule from a teacher during my UPSC preparation, that if you are an aspirant, you are preparing for any exam, your studies should start within half an hour after you get up. So because after that, then so many other thoughts start coming to your mind. Mera hoga nahi hoga, how should I go about it, or should I do something else entirely? So before all that starts, you should get to your study table within 30 minutes. So I would study before coming to office, and after going back from office, I would again study from say 8 p.m. to 12 p.m. or so, whatever my schedule would allow, without stressing myself too much, maintaining a healthy routine. I try to do studies in that way. And before the exams, I took leave. Before phase 1, I took leave of 2 weeks. Before phase 2, I took leave of 7 to 10 days, I guess. So like that, I manage my studies.
So जैसे कि आपने कहा कि मेरा एग्जाम होगा कि नहीं होगा, एवरी एस्पिरेंट आउट देयर फेसेस दिस काइंड ऑफ क्वेश्चन, सभी के माइंड में एक क्वेश्चन आता है। सो उस टाइम, एंड दीज आर सम पॉइंट्स जो कि आपका मोटिवेशन लेवल डाउन करते हैं। सो हाउ डिड यू मैनेज दैट पर्टिकुलर मोटिवेशन अपार्ट फ्रॉम दैट रूटीन एंड डिसिप्लिन दैट यू फॉलोड?
Yeah, actually we have to accept this fact as a reality. As long as this
यस।
dilemma is there कि मेरा होगा या नहीं होगा, तभी तक वो एग्जाम देने का कोई पॉइंट है. बिकॉज इफ आई एम वरीड कि मेरा होगा या नहीं होगा, मतलब देन देयर इज थ्रिल इन डूइंग दैट. एंड इफ आई एम श्योर कि मेरा तो हो ही जाएगा, देन देयर इज नो थ्रिल. एंड इफ आई एम श्योर कि मेरा होगा ही नहीं, देन देयर इज नो पॉइंट इन प्रिपरेशन. So this dilemma is reality for everyone. And about motivation, I used to hear some toppers talk or some coaching strategies. So when we have confidence that yes, I know something, then we are not afraid of it. So if we have planned properly and prepared properly, then this dilemma and this fear, all that goes away. Then the focus is just on giving a legitimate attempt at the examination, because that's all we can do. Result is not in our hands. It's a competition. If others are doing better than me on that day, so then they will excel. But all I can do is prepare and plan properly and execute it to the best of my capabilities on the day of examination.
Very good to hear that. So, can you also share some stress busters? See, stress is a very common thing when you are, and there are times when you got frustrated कि काफी चीजें हैं, बहुत सारा सिलेबस है, कैसे होगा? तो उस टाइम पे कैसे आप खुद को बेसिकली स्ट्रेस बस्टर्स क्या आप यूज करते थे? क्या आपकी कुछ टेक्निक्स थी, कुछ आप एक्सपीरियंस के साथ शेयर कर सकते हैं?
Yeah, I think I had two ways of going about it. One was the preemptive action. Stress को खुद तक पहुंचने से पहले ही we should always be in the healthy condition. Wait नहीं करना है कि when I will be stressed, then I will go for busting my stress.
यस।
So my routine was after my office hours, sometimes I would go almost on all the days. I would go for a walk of 1 hour or 2 hour. And during my walk, I would be studying in my mind. I would be revising what I have read in the morning, or I would be listening to some lecture, or pondering upon the points given in the syllabus or pattern of the examination, or visualizing myself managing the time in phase one examination, how much time to give to what sections of reasoning and like that. So I was in the touch of my studies mentally while I was walking around in the nature. आसपास जंगल था, पार्क था, so I would walk in that. So उससे क्या है कि I would be healthy mentally and physically also, and it became such a routine. I started liking it very much. It became one of the centerpieces of my preparation. I would plan actually in those 1 to 2 hours very nicely and memorize things. And other thing which I did for busting my stress was go out with friends, have some family time from time to time. And I did not fix it. I left it to my choices, because वी आर नॉट इन द सेम मूड ऑन एवरी डे. ऐसा नहीं है कि हर संडे को ही मस्ती करने का मन होगा और हर मंडे को ही पढ़ाई करने का मन होगा. सो इट डजंट वर्क लाइक दैट. सो आई केप्ट इट ओपन एंडेड. सो दैट्स हाउ आई.
So, as you've also mentioned that you are a working experience. So, how did RBA happen?
RBI actually in when I was preparing for civil services in 2019, my
Yes.
roommate he told me about this exam and he told that this job is very good. So I said okay, notification आया है, भर दिया टाइप से चले गए, पर कभी प्लान नहीं था कि इसकी तैयारी करेंगे. Then my UPSC preparation I had to stop it for some personal reasons. 2020 के बाद से मैं नहीं कर पा रहा था preparation. So 22 में then again I thought कि मैं एक बार attempt देना चाहता हूँ exams पे. बिकॉज मार्च में मन बनाया था एग्जाम देने का, तो यूपीएससी तो नहीं हो पाता 3 महीने में. 6 जून को पेपर था, तो मैंने कहा व्हाट अदर एग्जाम्स आई कैन टारगेट. सो उस टाइम सीजीएल का और आरबीआई का नोटिफिकेशन उस टाइम प्रोसेस में थी दोनों चीजें. सो आई टारगेटेड दीज टू एग्जामिनेशंस एट दैट पॉइंट ऑफ टाइम. सो ऐसा नहीं था हमेशा से दैट आई ऑलवेज वांटेड टू बी एन आरबीआई ग्रेड बी ऑफिसर. ऐसा नहीं था. पहले तो बस यही चॉइस था कि कौन सा एग्जाम में टारगेट भी कर सकता हूँ, बिकॉज आई एम ऑलरेडी 29 years old and I don't have much
Yes.
liberty of attempting at various examinations. So it just happened with the flow. I was never prepared for it as such.
So that was your first attempt of the RBI Grade B officer.
Officially third attempt, but actually first attempt with preparation.
Okay. So any learnings, although those previous attempts were not that serious, but still always you have some learning from those past experiences.
Uh, In 2019, I really did not learn anything because I was never planning to give that examination again. It was just like an outing for me that day. In 2021, I understood one thing. I gave that examination, although I did not prepare, but I sat in the examination as if I am a serious aspirant and to judge myself how much I can do. So I realized that QRE cutoff I was able to clear without any preparation. So that was not a problem for me. And overall cutoff I missed by some 4.5 marks. So I understood that if I do GA preparation properly for 1.5 months, so maybe I can bridge this gap of 4 to 5 marks next year. So that was a moral booster for me, that yes, this examination, if I attempt, I may be in a position to crack it. So that confidence was there from 2021 attempt, which carried to the 2022 phase 1 attempt. And in phase 1 also, I did not give any mock tests. I just gave 2 mock tests which were on your platform. You had conducted 3 free mock tests. So mock
Yes.
test number 2 and 3 only I had given, and I was able to clear the cutoffs of quant, reasoning, and everything. So I just wanted to make sure that I am in the zone of clearing phase 1, because there is a theory that we should put in the minimum required effort, like activation energy curve hota hai chemistry mein, chemical engineering mein hum padhte the. So minimum required energy to go to the other side of the mountain. So वही मेरा अप्रोच था सिर्फ फेज 1 के लिए. So phase 1 में मेरे मार्क्स भी बहुत ज्यादा नहीं थे. I just cleared by 10 marks. So that was all I was planning, because time भी सिर्फ 37 days का time था prepare करने के
Yes.
लिए. So that's how the strategy worked.
So as you mentioned the time, so what do you think, as per your experience, that what is the adequate time that an aspirant requires to prepare for the RBI Grade B exam?
If somebody is starting right from zero, like somebody is from engineering background, never
Yes.
had practice of answer writing, never read finance, management, economy, social issues, so that aspirant should take somewhere between 6 to 9 months, I guess, although it would vary from person to person, but on average 6 to 9 months, depending on how much time you have at your home, or if you are a working aspirant, you have a family, all those factors coming in. 6 to 9 months is the optimum time for this preparation, although people have cracked it in less time also, in
Yes.
more time also. So the strategy will depend from person to person.
Very good. So in the meantime, I would like to ask our aspirants as well, guys, if you are having any kind of query about that you want to ask to Mr. Vipin, so you can always ask. You can just post your queries in the comment section, and we will be taking up those queries one by one, so you don't have to worry about that. So now let's move on to the phase 1 part, the phase 1 of the RB Grade B exam. So sir, please tell us about what exactly was your most scoring section for the phase 1, the most important area that you think that is very important for the phase 1.
Yeah, for phase 1, I focused only on the general awareness part of 80 marks, because QRE was not a problem for me. So in general awareness, what I did, I took the previous year papers, and then I tried to understand what sections contribute more out of these 80 marks. How is the weightage of different topics in that? So even in current affairs, I did demarcation like sports news, environment related news, science and tech related news, one question per year or one question in 3 years. So what is the frequency of different questions? So I planned my preparation as per that weightage given in the previous year papers. And one good thing was the trend has been changing since 2019. The cutoff was
Yes.
122, 19, then 21 it came down, 22 again it remained further low. So one
Yes.
good thing was I did not have to analyze much papers. My main focus was on 2021 phase 1, and I was preparing in my mind for two scenarios. One for the 2019 kind of scenario. The question paper is easy and the cutoff goes very high. And the other scenario was paper is still difficult than the 2021 paper. So I diversified my preparation instead of putting all the eggs in one basket. So because I wanted to hedge my risks as much as I can. Those who are investing, they would understand this term very nicely, that how we hedge our risks. So that's how I went about my phase 1 preparation in general awareness. For QRE, if somebody is planning to prepare for these topics, I would say they require more of practice and less of teaching. So if you are not sure about the concepts of any topics, just refer to those concepts. Then as soon as possible, start practicing, hands-on practice. Give papers of QRE, say SBI PO, IBPS PO, and coaching mock test series, whatever helps you, suits you. So give those mock tests. And in those mock tests, the analysis is very important, especially in the first few mock tests. Analyze where we are going wrong, how much time we are taking in the section. So that's the way to go about the phase 1 preparations.
So basically, analysis plays a very important part. First of all, analyzing the previous year paper as well, understanding the requirement of the exam, and then analyzing your preparation level by giving the mocks. So as you mentioned that you only appeared in the two mocks that were basically launched by EduTap, those all India mock. So can you tell us about those mocks? कि कैसे थे वो mocks and did they really helped you in analyzing your preparation level? और एग्जाम के साथ अगर हम उसको कंपेयर करें, सो क्या चीजें वही वैसी थी? तो व्हाट इज योर व्यू ऑन दैट?
Sir, I do not remember exactly how were the questions in exam
Yes.
but the thing I can say is that they were a good parameter to judge my preparation stance at that time.
Yes.
Because when I gave those 2 marks, I put my full faith in them that I considered them as an actual examination only. And because I was clearing cutoff in the mocks, I rest assured that I would clear cutoff in the actual examination also, and that went on to happen. So I cannot say about the questions, similarity of questions, but I can say that they were good parameters to judge my progress.
Okay, that's really good. Now coming to the most important section, which comprises of 40% of the phase one mark, that is the current affairs, the general awareness section. So can you tell our aspirants that how basically they can focus and how they can cover the current affairs part, and about the number of sources, whether you basically refer to more sources or one or two sources and then cover them multiple times. So what exactly was your strategy for the current affairs?
Yeah, these factual kind of informations I always try to avoid, but this examination requires to mugging up a lot of facts. So
Yes.
what I did, I stick to one source, I did it thoroughly, and then I seconded it with a supplementary source just to make sure that nothing is left behind. So I chose these two sources for current
Mm.
affairs, and I revised them again and again. I was able to do current affairs of 4 months before the examination, Feb, March, April, and May. And in the Feb there was budget and economic survey. So I did budget and economic survey from two sources. One I picked up from UPSC because they go more into analysis
Mm.
part, and one I picked up more from the RBI Grade B point of view, more factual information like road infrastructure, how much budget is allocated, and things like that. So I did these two things. After that, I went on to prepare through RBI circulars. RBI website I did not visit particularly because I did not have much time. I used the website during interview preparation, not in phase one or phase two preparation. For phase one and phase two, I relied on the coaching materials and online stuff. For RBI circulars, RBI in news, यूट्यूब पे वीडियोस भी थे आपके आरबीआई इन
Mm.
न्यूज वाले, वो वीडियोस भी मैं देखता था ये।
So were they really helpful for the exam?
यस यस, उससे ये भी इंश्योर हो जाता था कि जो मैंने पढ़ा है पीडीएफ्स में और ऑनलाइन
Yes.
पढ़ा है कुछ उसमें छूटा तो नहीं है, और अगर सेम फैक्ट्स दोबारा आ रहे हैं तो
Mm.
याद हो जाया करते थे सुनने के बाद। बिकॉज व्हेन वी एंगेज मोर ऑफ आवर सेंसेस इनटू लर्निंग देन द लर्निंग बिकम्स
Mm.
फास्ट। सो आंखों से देखा, कानों से सुना और पढ़ भी लिया उसको, तो वो माइंड में सेट हो जाता था सारा करके ना। सो दैट्स हाउ।
Definitely. So can you tell our aspirants about the role of solving MCQs for the current affairs part?
फॉर
Because
द
in the exam as well, there are questions in the MCQ format only in the phase one. So what is the importance of solving MCQs?
I would say the importance of MCQs is mainly in two ways. One is whether we are able to read the MCQs properly, understand them, and mark the right option in the given time. So time management part of
Mm.
thing. So whether I can do 80 questions in 25 minutes. Second thing is the kind of options they are asking. Can we eliminate options even if we are not sure about the answer? How to arrive at the right answer? If we know the right answer, obviously we will tick right at it. But if we don't know, we are confused between two options or say three options. So what are the chances that I can get them right? So it will vary from individual to individual, and one has to find his or her own sweet spot by practicing the MCQs. So मुझे वो sweet spot था पहले से, because I was preparing for UPSC, so I did not require
Yes.
much MCQ practice. But I would say those who are this is going to be their first competitive exam, they should do thorough practice of MCQs.
Yes, because it also gives you the environment that and the pattern as well. कि it basically helps you to acclimatize to that pattern जिसके अंदर basically exam आता है, and that's how basically solving MCQ is very important. So guys, kindly note down this point from Mr. Vipin. So sir has basically given this very important point about solving MCQs. Very good. Now this was all for the phase one. Now moving towards the another important section and the phase, that is the phase two. So what is your most scoring section for the phase two part? Your favorite area that you think that that was the most important, most scoring section for you?
In phase two, economy and management.
Yes.
इकोनॉमी में स्पेसिफिकली सब्जेक्टिव वाला पार्ट, ईएसआई में सब्जेक्टिव, एंड मैनेजमेंट में बोथ ऑब्जेक्टिव एंड डिस्क्रिप्टिव वाला पार्ट. दिस वाज माय कंफर्टेबल एरिया. सो ड्यूरिंग माय फेज टू प्रिपरेशन आई ट्राई टू डू टू थिंग्स. माय स्ट्रॉन्ग एरियाज आई ट्राई टू पॉलिश देम. उनसे कुछ भी क्वेश्चन आए वो छूटना नहीं चाहिए, एंड वॉट एवर कम्स आई शुड डिलीवर गुड क्वालिटी आंसर्स इन देम. और जो मेरे वीकनेसेस थे, आई ट्राई टू स्ट्राइक ए बार्गेन विद देम, ए फेवरेबल बार्गेन, that even if they do not support my rank, at least they should not pull me behind out of the cutoff line. So that's how I went about preparing for different sections of phase 2.
Now, before moving on to the different sections of the phase 2, we all know that the phase 2 exam is a very long exam. It's a duration of 5.5 hours. So how can one get acclimatized to for sitting for those long hours? And we all know that now we are also having typing in the phase 2 part. So how can get one can get acclimatized to that?
Yeah, that is very important. Actually, doesn't matter how well we are prepared, if the peak of uh, our capability does not come on that day of the examination, we will be left behind out of competition. In most of the cases, I found that I had center in Delhi, so I found that most of the people, they had traveled from Uttarakhand, somebody coming from Punjab, somebody coming
Yes.
from, people are coming from long distances, from 40 kilometers to 400 kilometers. I myself went from Dehradun to Delhi to give examination at that time on 25th June, and it was a sunny hot day in Delhi's pollution. So it becomes very difficult. First you go in, you sit in the AC room, then you come out, suddenly it's 11 or 12, and the sun is right over your head, and then you have to eat something, you have to be under some tree, and you are feeling the heat, pasina aa raha hai, and then you go in for the next round of examination, and now you have to sit even longer, and you have to type continuously, think about it.
So lots of
And
challenges there are.
yeah, and people are typing around you, so if somebody is getting hyper या उसको नहीं आ रहा है आंसर, तो वो और जोर जोर से कीबोर्ड बजा रहा है आपके आसपास, so then it becomes very disturbing also sometimes, but what can you do? So उसके लिए आपको प्रिपेयर करना, you don't get that kind of environment anywhere. What we can do, जैसे हम लोग रनिंग में करते हैं, अगर मुझे 100 मीटर भागना है, तो प्रोबेबली आई शुड रन 130 मीटर्स इन माय ड्यूरिंग माय प्रैक्टिस, सो दैट वो 100 मीटर मेरे लिए वहां पे थोड़ा इजी हो जाए भागने के लिए. सो अवर परफॉर्मेंस डज नॉट रिमेन 100% on the day of examination because of all these factors. तो हमें थोड़ा सा स्टेमिना अपना ज्यादा रखना है, जो भी एग्जाम की रिक्वायरमेंट है. अगर एग्जाम में 5.5 घंटे बैठना है, तो हमें अपना स्टेमिना 6 साढ़े 6 घंटे का बनाना है. एंड अवर टाइपिंग प्रैक्टिस शुड बी सो गुड कि वहां पे सोचना ना पड़े, बिकॉज व्हेन वी आर राइटिंग आंसर्स, our focus should be only on delivering the quality answers. Our mind should not be occupied कि वो एक ही जगह F तो नहीं दब गया, वो टाइपिंग में तो ज्यादा स्पेस, मेंटल स्पेस ऑक्यूपाई नहीं करना चाहिए हमारा. सो टाइपिंग वगैरह जो है ना, इस टाइप की चीजें तो पहले से ही प्रैक्टिस हो जानी चाहिए,
Yes.
बिकॉज दीज आर ऑन द आउटर रिंग ऑफ प्रिपरेशन. वो जो कोर मटेरियल है, हमें वहां तक पहुंचना है. वी हैव टू स्पेंड मोर एंड मोर टाइम ऑन दैट.
So how did you
So
manage that the typing part?
सर, माय टाइपिंग वाज ऑलरेडी गुड, आई डिड नॉट फेस एनी प्रॉब्लम इन दैट. बट अगर किसी को टाइपिंग ठीक ठीक से सीखना है, बिना देखे टाइप करना है, स्पीड से टाइप करना है, सो आई वुड रिकमेंड कि अभी से टाइपिंग का प्रैक्टिस स्टार्ट कर सकते हैं. व्हाटएवर नोट्स वी आर मेकिंग, वी कैन ट्राई टू मेक देम ऑन द पीसी, ऑन द लैपटॉप. वी कैन ट्राई टू टाइप द नोट्स. इफ यू आर प्रिपेयरिंग फॉर यूपीएससी, यू शुड make handwritten notes because it helps in the mains exam. 5 दिन वहां जाके लिखना पड़ता है, 6 घंटे. So as per the examination, we should plan our timings and schedules accordingly.
Very good. So basically, the key point is raising your standard is very important. If the exam is a 5.5 hours, you must acclimatize yourself for sitting more than that particular part, because it's not the point कि उस दिन आपकी efficiency कैसी रहने वाली है, because it can hamper. So very important point which is being given by Vipin sir here, very important thing. So we all know that the pattern of the exam has changed. So that means the rules of the game has changed. So the descriptive has now been introduced. तो डिस्क्रिप्टिव की प्रिपरेशन को आपने किस तरीके से किया? हाउ डिड यू प्रिपेयर फॉर द डिस्क्रिप्टिव पार्ट?
Sir, descriptive के लिए I did not need much preparation because of the UPSC background. I was writing answers back then in 2019 and 20. So answer writing is something we don't forget once we learn it. So the structure was there already in the mind, that how to address a question. One important thing is, when we read a question, we have to understand the demand of the questions, because sometimes most of the times we have a lot of content. After reaching a certain level of preparation, content is not an issue, but to express that content very logically.
And that
And
is also a question from one of our aspirant who is watching you live, from Sagar. Sagar is asking that how to attempt the descriptive part.
Yeah, Sagar. So practice for descriptive starts right at your study table. So when you are reading something, one way to go about is you can just start framing your thoughts. Suppose in today's newspaper, I read an article which relates to any of the topics of ESI, say child labor. So I gather my thoughts on that. What are the constitutional provisions, legal provisions? What is the angle of society in that? How does it vary across time and space, geographically and across the boundaries of our nation? What are the good practices we can import from other countries? What is the role of community in that? NGO, self-help group. So when you start thinking about things like that, answer writing will come very naturally to you, because once your thoughts are organized, your hand and mind coordination will work itself. So अपने thoughts में clarity रखना है, और जो एग्जाम के सिलेबस में जो जो टॉपिक्स है ना, उन सब पे एक आपका राइटअप होना चाहिए रेडी, एक A4 शीट लेके, वन साइड या ज्यादा ज्यादा बस टू साइड का इतना होना चाहिए, ऑन ऑल द टॉपिक्स ऑफ ESI एंड FM वी शुड हैव ए राइटअप रेडी. बिकॉज डिस्क्रिप्टिव में वी हैव टू अंडरस्टैंड इफ वी आर नॉट एबल टू आंसर ए सिंगल क्वेश्चन, ऑल्दो ऑप्शन इज गिवन देयर, बट सपोज इट हैपेंस दैट वो ऑप्शन मिला के भी आई एम शॉर्ट वन क्वेश्चन, मुझे एक क्वेश्चन का आंसर नहीं आ रहा है, देन आई एम गोइंग टू लूज मेनी मार्क्स. वो 12 मार्क्स का क्वेश्चन है, अगर वो छूट गया तो फिर वो 12 ऑब्जेक्टिव उधर ठीक करना, दैट बिकम्स वेरी डिफिकल्ट, बिकॉज आफ्टर 25-30 मार्क्स इन ऑब्जेक्टिव इट बिकम्स वेरी डिफिकल्ट टू गेन इवन 1 or 2 मार्क्स ऑल्सो. सो 12 मार्क्स की लीड उधर ऑब्जेक्टिव में नहीं आ पाएगी अगर आपने 12 मार्क्स सब्जेक्टिव में अपने छोड़ दिए. तो सब्जेक्टिव को तो सबसे पहले सिक्योर करना है एंड मेक सब्जेक्टिव योर स्ट्रेंथ. आई वुड से कि मेरा एग्जाम जो मेरे जो चांसेस बढ़ गए थे वो सब्जेक्टिव होने की वजह से बढ़ गए थे. हैड द एग्जाम बीन ओनली ऑब्जेक्टिव, माय चांसेस वुड हैव रिड्यूस्ड.
That basically shows that the quality of answer that you have written in the exam, that was really awesome. So please tell our aspirant that as per you, what are the most important elements of a good answer that is meant to be written in the exam?
It's simple and it fulfills the demand of the question. That is the most important element. Do not try to complicate by doing some heavy jargon. Don't think that examiner का dictionary में improve कर दूंगा या फिर examiner बोलेगा वो चुम्मियां देगा मुझे कि वाह क्या आंसर लिखा. ऐसे expectation नहीं रखनी चाहिए. Simple and effective अगर आपका आंसर होगा, that will please the examiner, because he has to check 100 and 500 copies in a single day, and while he is coming across the answers, we have written everything around the question and leaving behind what is asked in the question. See, इस बार एक question था, I don't remember the exact question, but it was something called positive discrimination and something about its positives and negatives, how it has failed. So अगर वो question आता है and we are not sure कि positive discrimination का मतलब क्या है, we should leave the question at the outset only. Do not try to attempt it कि शायद ऐसा होता होगा, because if you once you go in the wrong direction, then there is no coming back, because फिर उसको मिटाना फिर दोबारा लिखना, और वो जो उनका इंटरफेस है ना, that also works in a different way.
It's also a very challenging one.
Yeah. So मैं उस आंसर के साथ कंफर्टेबल था तो मैंने उसको लिखा. So choose your answers very wisely.
And what should be the correct structure of an answer? It should be point wise, it should be a paragraph one.
It again depends on the nature of the question. If a question is more in the essay form, it demands your opinions, your views, discuss about something. If the question is about critically analyze, then I have to put forth points both in favor and in disagreement. So my answer would begin in essay form by introducing what the question is asking. So when we give the introduction to an answer, that gives an impression to the examiner that the person has understood the question, and now he's taking the things ahead from what I have asked. He's going one step ahead and now he will move forward. So introduction has to be in essay form. Introduction में points नहीं हो सकते. After introduction, it is my choice that I begin with the points right at the outset after some linking statement with my introduction. So having understood what I have just mentioned, now going ahead, these are the few points in favor, these are the points in against. Then in the end, again in the essay form, I am putting forth a discussion that having analyzed both pros and cons, this is the right way to go about it, this is the way forward. So it can be a combination of points and essay. It can be entirely in the form of essay, but it cannot be entirely in the form of points. So it depends on the demand of the question.
Definitely. So it should be the proper adequate mixture of both the things, and basically depending upon the situation, upon the question, that what exactly has been asked in the question. A very good point which has been put on by Vipin sir here. So sir, now moving towards the sections, but before that we can also talk about the word limit. Did you stick to the word limit in the exam or you exceeded them? What exactly was your approach on that?
Yeah. Luckily, in almost all the questions, my word limit was plus minus 5 words. In almost all the questions except two questions. In one question, it was of 600 words. I wrote 579. One was of 400. I wrote 335. So except these two questions, in all other questions, I was plus minus 5, including English descriptive.
Okay, so that really shows that how much you have practiced for this particular part. So that is a very important thing to get ready for what you are fighting for in the on the exam day. That's a very good thing. So now moving towards the sections of the phase 2 exam. Now let us first understand about the finance management. So please tell us that what exactly is the low hanging fruit in the finance part.
For me, in the finance part,
Yes,
actually,
finance and management, the whole
yeah,
section.
that's the thing. I did not have sufficient time to prepare for finance properly as such. Some area of finance has overlap with economy, like the bond market part, primary market, secondary market, all that I had studied during my UPSC preparation. So I relied only on that part for finance. So because finance was a gray area for me, I made management my strength. So I had planned this, that in the descriptive also I will attempt more of management. In the objective also my target was कि management में कुछ छूटना नहीं चाहिए, कुछ गलत नहीं होना चाहिए. बट जो फाइनेंस का पेपर है वो भी बहुत स्ट्रिक्टली फाइनेंस की तरह ना के थोड़ा फाइनेंस एंड इकोनॉमी टाइप से ही आया. सो इट वेंट इन माय फेवर. I was able to do it. So finance में sir I would not be able to tell ki what is the low hanging and what is, because I did not prepare
Okay.
for it properly. But in management I can say, in FM I can say that management
Yes.
is surely the low hanging fruit among the two.
Yeah, very important for the students here. So now coming to the current affairs part for the finance management. So what do you think should be the area to focus on for the students? What is the important role of the RBI notifications in the finance management part?
Yeah, in finance management में तो current affair का बहुत ज़्यादा role नहीं रहता है.
Mm,
In the finance part, I relied on whatever ESI and finance current affairs material were being published by different coaching materials. I stick to one source only for that, and I relied on that only. Apart from that, I did RBI circular summary and other things, PIB and budget and economic survey. So that was all the part of current affairs preparation for both ESI and finance. So I did not do anything separately for finance. It was combined effort only.
okay. So moving on to the next important section, that is the economics and social issues. So please tell our aspirants about the importance of current affairs in the economics and social issues, and how did you tackled all those things for the exam?
Yeah, objective ESI is almost all about current affairs only, and the subjective part of ESI that can be tackled if you have good conceptual knowledge and you're also aware about what are the things in news, because static question can be asked from something which is already in news in the recent days.
Any
So
important topic that you want to mention for the students in the ESI static part?
सर टॉपिक में तो आई वुड से कि इकोनॉमिक एंड सोशल इश्यूज के जो मेरे कंसेप्ट्स थे वो सब पहले यूपीएससी में जो प्रिपेयर किया था उसके हिसाब से प्रिपेयर्ड ही थे. आई जस्ट फोकस ऑन द करंट अफेयर्स पार्ट, लाइक नंबर्स, फिगर्स, ईएसआई में जो वो बजटरी एलोकेशंस, स्कीम्स हो गए और वो जो चीजें पूछ लेते हैं. सो आई फोकस्ड ऑन दैट फैक्चुअल वाला
Yeah,
part.
that was actually that was my next question. That what are the areas to focus on for the ESI current affairs, the reports, schemes, current news related to ESI and finance?
Yes, among the reports, I did all the kind of reports by RBI,
Mm,
like report on trends and banking progress in
yes.
India, other RBI circulars, and financial stability report. It was released after the phase 2 examination on 30th June. So I did it for interview, not for phase 2, because it was released after.
Yes.
And reports by domestic agencies like Niti Aayog, reports by international bodies like WHO, UNICEF, and all these kind of reports. So I did all this global hunger index, all the reports and indices in news. I tried to cover them, and I also tried to cover their what and why kind of things. Like in hunger index, if India is not performing, what are the parameters we need to improve? Because this can be asked in the descriptive portion as well. Because hunger, poverty, these are topics in ESI syllabus. So when I was reading reports, I was preparing for both objective and subjective. And when on the day of examination, when I attempted the ESI paper, so पता चल गया था कि paper is very tough. So when I
Yes.
in the examination, I did not mark any questions which I was not sure about. पहले मैं देखना चाहता था कि मुझे surely कितने आते हैं. तो मैं सिर्फ 10 नंबर का कर पाया था. when I was going for only the sure questions in the first round. In second round, जिन questions में मैं 70, 80, 90% sure था, I took chances in them, put logical guessing in them, so उनको किया. तो उनको करके फिर मेरा जो अटेम्प्ट था वो 20 से 25 मार्क्स के आसपास पहुंच गया था. फिर उसको थोड़ा सा और मॉडिफाई करने के लिए मैं 28-30 तक लेके गया थर्ड राउंड में. उसके बाद आई डिड नॉट टेक मच चांसेस, आई लेफ्ट इट देयर. सो ईएसआई इस बार बहुत डिफिकल्ट था. उसका मुझे एडवांटेज भी मिला बिकॉज मैं ऑब्जेक्टिव के लिए, एज आई टोल्ड यू, दिस ऑब्जेक्टिव एंड फैक्चुअल थिंग्स इज नॉट माय स्ट्रांग एरिया. सो ईएसआई वाज सो डिफिकल्ट कि इवन दोज हु वर वेरी वेल प्रिपेयर्ड, it played a game of a leveler. So the margin was reduced. Nobody got very high marks in ESI. So it worked in my favor.
So basically, going with your strengths is a very important thing. You should always remember that what your strengths are. So one of our aspirants is asking that, sir, how to choose a topic in the phase 2? Is it just enough to prepare syllabus mentioned in the notification?
Yes, it is enough to prepare only the syllabus mentioned in the notification. What we mean by the word enough here is that I don't have to score 300 out of 300 in the examination. I just have to get one seat out of the 238 vacancies which are published, because everybody gets the same. It doesn't matter on the rank. So by enough, I mean that yes, it is enough to clear the examination. And how to choose, you are asking how to choose a topic to write answer in the subjective part of the question, or how
Yes,
to, sorry, during the examination,
during
how
the
to,
exam.
yeah, during examination, how to choose questions out of the given options, that which all questions I would be answering in the subjective part. For that, it depends on, वो क्वेश्चन पढ़ती है आपको फील आ जाएगा कि ये टॉपिक के लिए यस आई एम रियली वेल प्रिपेयर्ड. प्रॉब्लम तब आती है व्हेन यू आर वेरी वेल प्रिपेयर्ड फॉर मोर देन वन टॉपिक, or you are not properly prepared for more than one topic. So choosing the best among the goods or worst among the bads, then that becomes a matter of choice. So it will depend on you, how you have prepared, how much time you have spent on each topic of the syllabus. That will define which topics you choose on that day of examination. There is no rule about it.
Yes. So as we are talking about the subject, answering the subjective answers, so please tell our aspirants that as here Priyanka is asking that may we use bullets or numbers to write points. Basically, she's asking that whether the interface allows you to use the bullets.
I did not try bullets, and honestly, I don't remember now whether it allows, interface allows or not. I just use the numbers.
The numbers. So here I think Priyanka, Vipin sir has answered your question that you can use numbers for that particular part. And from where did you read the RBI circulars? There is one more question that people are asking.
Yeah, RBI circulars, if I go on searching on RBI website or RBI circulars, it becomes very lofty. So I would suggest you can pick up any coaching material जो भी circulars को summarize कर रहे हैं. They all are doing fine job, और वो already जब हमें पका पकाया खाना मिल रहा है, no need to invent the wheel again, because अलग से सर्कुलर पढ़ने जाएंगे तो इट विल टेक लॉट ऑफ टाइम एंड एनर्जी. तो किसी भी अच्छे कोचिंग के जो कंपाइलेशंस हैं, समरीज हैं आरबीआई सर्कुलर के, मैंने भी वही किया था, आप भी वो कर सकते हैं. It
I can
works.
remember you also mentioned some YouTube videos from our channel that you used to saw.
या आरबीआई इन न्यूज वाले जो वीडियोस थे उनको भी
Yes.
मैंने रेफर किया था फेज 1 से पहले.
Good to hear that. So now coming to the third part of the phase 2, that is the descriptive English. So can you tell our aspirants the order of attempt and how to manage the time in that particular thing? There are 3 questions. तो क्या order रहना चाहिए, कैसे distribute करना चाहिए time को to the different questions?
The time distribution should be as per the marks of the question. जैसे 100 marks का पेपर है,
Yes,
comprehension 30 marks का है, या suppose some other question is 0-50 marks, वो चेंज हो सकता है किसी भी साल. suppose next year notification में कुछ और marks का distribution आ जाए पेपर में. So as per marks आपका distribution होना चाहिए कि जो आपके half marks हैं वो पूरे पेपर के टाइमिंग के हाफ से पहले आपको वहां पे पहुंच जाना है, थोड़ा सा बफर रखते हुए ना 5-10 मिनट्स का. अगर आप लास्ट में स्पेलिंग चेक्स और ग्रामेटिकल मिस्टेक्स चेक कर पाए तो बहुत अच्छा रहेगा. बिकॉज आई हैव हर्ड, आई एम नॉट श्योर अबाउट इट, बट आई हैव हर्ड फ्रॉम कोचिंग इंस्टीट्यूट्स एंड माय फेलो पीयर्स दैट grammatical mistakes and spelling mistakes, they are punished, marks are cut for those kind of things in typing errors. So we have to make sure that our typings are good. So टाइम का मैनेजमेंट होना चाहिए मार्क्स के हिसाब से. जितने मार्क्स का क्वेश्चन है उसके रेशो में ही हमें टाइम उसको देना है, और जो टाइम है उसका मिडिल आने से पहले हमारा एग्जाम जो है वो आधे से ज्यादा कंप्लीट हो जाना चाहिए, से 60% हो जाना चाहिए 50% टाइम में.
And whatever you have written, you should also review that particular part in order to make sure that no such kind of marks are being deducted on the spelling mistakes.
Yes, but should not become casual that anyways I am going to do spelling check, तो
Yes.
एक दो spelling गलत दिख भी रही है तो because sometimes it
Mm.
happens कि last में time बचेगा ही नहीं, so then one gets वो hyper हो जाता है कि अभी time भी नहीं है, मैंने गलतियां भी कर रखी है, उसको पता भी उसने गलती कर रखी है, तो that plays in your mind. So ऐसा नहीं करना है. When you are typing, please try to make sure कि पहली बार में ही सब कुछ ठीक हो जाए. Like when I checked my examination, I think I hardly found any टाइपिंग मिस्टेक्स और ग्रामेटिकल एरर्स. तो ऐसा करना है कि पहली बार में ही सब कुछ सही हो जाए. And if you can get time to check it, that would be wonderful.
So now please tell our aspirants about the importance of revision. What time did you give to the revision part for the phase 2?
Yeah, revision is most important. Actually selection होगा तो revision से ही
हाँ.
होगा, सिर्फ पढ़ने से नहीं होगा. और सिर्फ पढ़ के जाएंगे तो एक बार पढ़ के जाएंगे तो कंफ्यूजन ही बढ़ेगा. You will score more negative अगर आप एक बार पढ़ के जाओगे as compared to बिना पढ़े जाना. So एक बार पढ़ने से तो नहीं होगा. You have to revise multiple times. अब कितनी बार रिवाइज करना है, that depends on two things. How much comfort level you have with particular topic. Second, what kind of questions are asked. जिन चीजों में ज्यादा फैक्चुअल क्वेश्चन पूछे जा रहे हैं जिन टॉपिक्स में से, एक तो उनको ज्यादा रिवाइज करना है. और जो टॉपिक आपको लगता है कि कंफर्ट लेवल नहीं है लेकिन एग्जाम के लिए जरूरी है, करना पड़ेगा, तो उनको थोड़ा ज्यादा रिवाइज करेंगे तो उसमें कंफर्ट लेवल आ जाता है. और रिवीजन करने के कई तरीके हैं. रिवीजन में वन इज द सिंपल ट्रेडिशनल वे कि हम बैठे, वॉट एवर वी हैव रेड बिफोर, वी हैव हाईलाइटेड इट, वी हैव अंडरलाइंड इट, हम उसको दोबारा पढ़ रहे हैं. दूसरा वे है रिवाइज करने का कि जो आपने पढ़ा है शाम में आप घूमते हुए या कुछ भी काम करते हुए, व्हेन यू आर अलोन, उस वक्त आप उसको मेमोराइज करने की, विजुअलाइज करने की कोशिश कर रहे हो. ऑफ कोर्स यू कैन नॉट रिवाइज इट ऑल इन दिस वे, बट यू गेट ए गुड होल्ड ऑफ द टॉपिक. वो टॉपिक आपको अपना लगने लगता है व्हेन यू स्पेंड टाइम विद सम टॉपिक. अनदर वे ऑफ रिवाइजिंग इज, जो मैं करता था कि जैसे बजट और इकोनॉमिक सर्वे के जो फैक्चुअल चीजें थी, कितना बजट एलोकेशन हो गया या कौन कौन से स्कीम्स आने वाले हैं, मैंने अपने फोन में अपनी वॉइस में ही उनको रिकॉर्ड कर लिया था. 5 मिनट रिकॉर्डिंग, 8 मिनट रिकॉर्डिंग. तो सोने से पहले वो चला लिया, या उठते ही जब अपना मॉर्निंग रूटीन्स कर रहा हूँ उस टाइम पे वो ऑडियो चला के छोड़ दिया. वो मेरी ही वॉइस में है, सो आई अंडरस्टैंड व्हाट आई एम सेइंग काम करते करते भी. सो देन द थिंग्स गो टू योर सबकॉन्शियस माइंड. फिर जब एग्जाम के दिन वो क्वेश्चन आएगा ना, भले ही आपको लगे कि याद नहीं है, बट वो यू विल टेक द राइट ऑप्शन, इट विल कम सडनली टू यू. सो सबकॉन्शियस माइंड में वो चला जाएगा. सो जो स्टडीज है ना, इट शुड बिकम एन इंटीग्रेटेड पार्ट ऑफ योर रूटीन. तो जो रिवीजन है वो अलग से नहीं करना पड़ेगा, वो आपका डेली हैबिट बन जाएगा. और रिवाइज डेली करना है. कभी भी ऐसा नहीं करना कि वो पढ़ते जा रहे हैं. अब 25 दिन हो गए, रोज नई नई चीजें पढ़ी, रिवाइज नहीं करा. सो देन इट विल बिकम बर्डन. व्हेन यू विल गो टू द फर्स्ट डे टॉपिक, वो बर्डन हो जाएगा. तो जीए फेज 1 में भी मैं ऐसा करता था कि जैसे कल मैंने 50 पेज पढ़ लिए, आज मैं 50 से आगे पढ़ूंगा, तो मैं पहले वो 50 रिवाइज कर लेता था. देन 50 से लेके 90 तक गए, आज अगले दिन फिर वो 90 रिवाइज कर लिए. तो जो फर्स्ट 50 है वो मेरे 4-5 बार रिवाइज हो गए. तो इस तरीके से मैं करता था. रिवीजन बहुत जरूरी है.
So I can say that revision should be a thumb rule for the preparation. And
Yes,
revision
every
is a, yes, revision is key to retain those particular facts and figures that are given in the reports, the notifications, the schemes that you are required to remember. And because there are questions which are based on the same lines in the exam as well. So one more question that students are posting for you, that's which newspaper you were using during your preparation?
During my phase 1 and phase 2 preparation, I did not read any newspaper for preparation. I was reading The Hindu because out of my habit, but I did not read it for preparation. After phase 2, I relied on 3 newspapers, The Hindu, Indian Express, and Mint, to develop opinions about various matters in the economy and domestic and international importance, because in interviews they may ask your opinions. वो 2 मिनट का वो एक्सटेम्पोर भी करा लेते हैं कभी कभी, that is speak your mind on these topics. So to make my opinions, I read 3 newspapers. बाकी phase 1 और phase 2 के लिए I would not say that newspapers are required strictly.
Okay. So now please tell our aspirants about the importance of mock tests. How many mock tests you gave for the phase 2?
After giving phase 1 examination, I immediately began with the descriptive mock tests for phase 2. For descriptive, my preparation strategy was upside down. I first gave the mock test. फिर जो एरियाज मुझे लगे कि मैं नहीं लिख पा रहा हूँ तो या मुझे नहीं पता है, तो देन आई प्रिपेयर्ड अपॉन देम. फॉर एग्जांपल, एक मॉक टेस्ट मैंने दिया था, उसमें क्वेश्चन था कि बैंकिंग सेक्टर में क्या क्या चैलेंजेस होते हैं. सो वो मैंने पढ़ा नहीं था. सो मैंने कॉमन सेंस से उसमें लिखा कि अगर एक बैंक डाउन जाएगा तो बाकी बैंक्स को भी लोगों का फेथ उड़ जाता है, और बैंक्स जो फंड लाते हैं उन पे कितना इंटरेस्ट रेट उनको पे करना पड़ रहा है, अगर वो ज्यादा वेरी करेगा तो वो एक, तो ऐसे मैंने कॉमन सेंस से आंसर्स लिखे। तो जब इवेल्युएटर ने कॉपी चेक करके भेजी तो उन्होंने लिखा कि आप यू हैव रिटन ए गुड आंसर, बट यू शुड ऑल्सो राइट द टेक्निकल टर्म्स। जैसे इसको बोलते हैं कंसेंट्रेशन रिस्क। किसी आपने एक ही लेंडर को ज्यादा लोन आपने दे रखा है, देन इफ ही इज नॉट एबल टू रीपे तो आपको बहुत भारी नुकसान हो जाएगा, जैसे नीरव मोदी या इन केसेस में हुआ था। तो उसको बोलते हैं कंसेंट्रेशन रिस्क। तो ये टेक्निकल टर्म्स मुझे नहीं पता थे, बट आई वाज हैप्पी कि इवन दो आई हैड नॉट रेड दिस थिंग बिफोर, टर्म्स ऑब्वियसली मुझे नहीं पता थे, स्टिल आई डिड जस्टिस टू द क्वेश्चन एंड आई गॉट गुड मार्क्स इन दैट, लाइक आउट ऑफ 12 आई गॉट 8 और 8.5 लाइक दैट। सो दैट वाज अ कॉन्फिडेंस बूस्टर फॉर मी कि डिस्क्रिप्टिव में मैं कर लूंगा अगर कुछ ऐसा भी आया है जो नहीं आता, बट स्टिल आई ट्राइड टू कवर एवरी पार्ट ऑफ सिलेबस, ऐसा कुछ छोड़ा नहीं जो ना आता हो। फिर मैंने वो जो डिस्क्रिप्टिव के मॉक टेस्ट देने के बाद जैसे ही रिजल्ट आया फेज 1 का, पता चल गया कि हो गया क्लियर, 7 जून को आया था रिजल्ट। तो उसके बाद देन आई स्टार्टेड प्रिपेयरिंग फॉर द ऑब्जेक्टिव सेक्शन, बिकॉज ऑब्जेक्टिव में वी लर्न फैक्चुअल थिंग्स एंड वी फॉरगेट देम। सो इफ आई स्टार्ट प्रिपेयरिंग फॉर ऑब्जेक्टिव राइट आफ्टर फेज 1, then I don't get selected in phase 1, then all that goes in vain. But if I prepare for descriptive, it will always be there with me. Conceptual things हैं, next year भी अगर मैं attempt करूंगा तो वो चीजें मेरे notes हैं, मुझे याद रहेंगे। Factual चीजें वो बहुत जल्दी short lived होते हैं वो। So that's how I prepared for them. So mock test की जो important है phase 2 के लिए, हमें सब्जेक्टिव मॉक्स भी देने हैं। मैंने 7 दिन में 12 मॉक्स दिए थे, 5 ईएसआई के, 5 फाइनेंस के और 2 इंग्लिश के। और उसके बाद फिर मैंने ऑब्जेक्टिव की प्रिपरेशन की थी। तो ऑब्जेक्टिव में आई वुड से कि मॉक्स का बहुत ज्यादा रोल नहीं है, बस आपको ऑप्शन मार्क करना आना चाहिए, टाइम मैनेजमेंट आना चाहिए, और बाकी तो आपको कंटेंट बिल्ड करना है अपना ऑब्जेक्टिव में ना। सो ड्यूरिंग माय ऑब्जेक्टिव प्रिपरेशन आई गेव ओनली 4-5 मॉक्स ओनली, रेस्ट ऑफ द टाइम वाज स्पेंड ऑन प्रिपेयरिंग सम गुड क्वालिटी कंटेंट।
And it
सो
also helps you in acclimatizing to the pattern of the exam as well, sitting for those long hours.
सिटिंग
And
फॉर
also
दोस्त,
you just also have a typing practice with that.
यस यस।
Now moving towards the one of the very important phase, that is the interview. So how did you prepare for the interview? What are the different areas to prepare when I talk about the interview process for the RBI Grade B exam?
या इंटरव्यू की प्रिपरेशन बहुत वाइड
Hmm.
होती है। जैसे फेज 1 और फेज 2 में थोड़ा डीप जाना पड़ता है, फैक्चुअल चीजें, कंसेप्ट समझने पड़ते हैं। फेज इंटरव्यू में सोर्सेज बहुत होते हैं। व्हेन आई मेड ए लिस्ट ऑफ द सोर्सेज कि मैं क्या क्या प्रिपेयर करूंगा इंटरव्यू के लिए, तो A4 शीट पूरा भर गया था। फिर मैं नहीं चाह रहा था कि वो दूसरे पेज पे जाए, अदरवाइज वो टेंशन देने लगता है, फिर अरे इतने सारे सोर्सेज, तो फिर छोटा छोटा करके उसी में लिखा। बट बेसिकली वो A4 शीट ना सिर्फ सोर्सेज की लिस्ट से ही पूरा भर गया था। उसमें ऐसे सोर्सेज थे कि आरबीआई का फंक्शंस एंड वर्किंग डॉक्यूमेंट, सबसे पहले तो वो पढ़ते हैं सब लोग। उसके बाद आरबीआई की जितनी भी रिपोर्ट्स हैं, फिर सारी रिपोर्ट्स इंडिविजुअली हमें देखनी पड़ती है, जैसे फाइनेंशियल स्टेबिलिटी रिपोर्ट, रिपोर्ट ऑन ट्रेंड्स ऑन ऑफ बैंकिंग एंड प्रोग्रेस इन इंडिया, और ऐसे जितने भी आरबीआई के उस टाइम रिपोर्ट्स आए हुए थे पिछले 6 से 8 महीने में, आरबीआई के सर्कुलर्स थे, आरबीआई की वेबसाइट, ये तो ही आरबीआई वाली चीजें। इसके बाद आपकी प्रोफाइल वाली चीजें, अगर आप केवी में पढ़े हैं तो वहां से लेके फिर इंजीनियरिंग किया, थोड़ा सा इंजीनियरिंग के बारे में, जैसे मेरा केमिकल इंजीनियरिंग है तो थर्मोडायनेमिक्स थोड़ा सा मैं पढ़ के गया था, हीट ट्रांसफर, मास ट्रांसफर के थोड़े से कंसेप्ट देख के गया था। उसके बाद मेरी वर्क प्रोफाइल है बीपीसीएल की, तो पेट्रोलियम से रिलेटेड सेक्टर, बीपीसीएल, आईओसीएल, ओएनजीसी, थोड़ा सा उनके बारे में पढ़ा। बीपीसीएल महारत्ना है तो महारत्ना क्या होता है, कौन सी मिनिस्ट्री उसको ये अवार्ड ग्रांट करती है। तो यू सी इंटरव्यू की प्रिपरेशन ना, वो इट स्टार्ट्स फ्रॉम वन पॉइंट, देन इट स्प्रेड्स इन एवरी डायरेक्शन। तो इंटरव्यू में आपको अपना प्रोफाइल बहुत अच्छे से प्रिपेयर करना है। अगर प्रोफाइल बेस्ड क्वेश्चन आप आंसर नहीं कर पाए, दैट्स अ क्राइम इन द इंटरव्यू, बिकॉज दैट मींस यू डोंट नो योरसेल्फ, सो व्हाट विल दे इंटरव्यू यू। सो
Very important point mentioned by you here, that you should know and very much aware about that what you have done basically in the past. आपका क्या प्रोफाइल है उसके बारे में आपको डिटेल में सभी क्वेश्चंस के आंसर्स आने चाहिए. And definitely you have done a great job in doing that, leaving no stone unturned in doing this. Definitely good. So can you tell us about any mocks that you have given for the interview part?
या फॉर इंटरव्यू आई गेव सेवरल मॉक्स। एडुटैप का भी मैंने मॉक दिया था, उसमें आई थिंक राजा सर थे एडुटैप के मॉक में, आई डोंट रिमेम्बर द नेम्स ऑफ
Yes.
फैकल्टी मेंबर, शायद राजा सर ही थे। तो उन्होंने मेरा एक्चुअली फर्स्ट मॉक ही मैंने एडुटैप का दिया था जब रिजल्ट आया था फेज 2। तो ही आस्क्ड मी कि आरबीआई का प्रीएम्बल क्या होता है, तो मैंने कहा सॉरी सर, हैवंट सीन इट। फिर उन्होंने आरबीआई के बारे में और एक दो बेसिक क्वेश्चन पूछे कि बोर्ड डायरेक्टर्स कितने होते हैं आरबीआई में, और आरबीआई से रिलेटेड उन्होंने चीजें पूछी, आरबीआई एक्ट से रिलेटेड चीजें पूछी। और मैंने आरबीआई पे कुछ भी प्रिपेयर नहीं करा था, मैं सिर्फ अपनी प्रोफाइल प्रिपेयर करके बैठा था, बिकॉज वो पहला मॉक भी था तो मेरे पास टाइम भी लिमिटेड ही था। बट मैं मॉक देना भी चाहता था बिकॉज आई न्यू दैट आई वुड फेल मिजरेबली, बट आई जस्ट वांटेड टू नो कि क्या व्हाट ऑल कैन गो रॉन्ग अगर मैं बिना प्रिपरेशन के इंटरव्यू दूंगा। एक होता है ना कि व्हेन यू रिमूव ऑल द वेरिएबल्स, you pick up one variable and then you analyze the systems. Engineering में ऐसा होता है वो ट्रिपल शूटिंग।
Definitely.
तो then you know importance of all those variables. जब तक वो सारे वेरिएबल साथ काम करने, you don't know the relative importance of those variables. तो सिर्फ प्रोफाइल प्रिपेयर है। फिर मैंने मॉक इंटरव्यू दिया तो कहाँ कहाँ मैं गलत हुआ, तो उस तरीके से मैंने दिया। तो फिर सर ने मुझे फीडबैक भी दिया, बहुत अच्छा कंस्ट्रक्टिव फीडबैक दिया सर ने। सो लाइक दैट वो इम्प्रूव होता गया हर मॉक के साथ, अपना परफॉर्मेंस और अपना प्रिपरेशन में अपना इम्प्रूव करता गया स्टेप बाय
So,
स्टेप।
how was the panel and how that feedback basically helped you in your main interview that you gave in RBI?
फीडबैक बहुत अच्छा था, स्पेशली जो राजा सर ने क्वेश्चन पूछे थे उसकी वजह से मेरा ध्यान आरबीआई की चीजों पे बहुत बारीकी से जाने लगा। जिस दिन मैंने मॉक इंटरव्यू दिया उसी दिन मैंने आरबीआई का एक्ट डाउनलोड किया, उसको हाईलाइट किया, उसके इंपॉर्टेंट सेक्शंस मैंने याद किए, आरबीआई का प्रीएम्बल देखा। तो प्रीएम्बल बहुत छोटा था, 3 लाइन का ही प्रीएम्बल था। आई वाज होपिंग कि प्रीएम्बल मतलब समथिंग जैसे संविधान का है वो प्रीएम्बल ऐसा कुछ होगा, 1 पेज काइंड ऑफ थिंग होगा, कभी देखा ही नहीं था आरबीआई का प्रीएम्बल उससे पहले। तो जैसे उन्होंने क्वेश्चन पूछे उससे एक डायरेक्शन मिल गया कि करना कैसे है प्रिपरेशन आरबीआई के बारे में। सो इट वाज रियली हेल्पफुल।
So, एक क्वेश्चन हर एस्पिरेंट के माइंड में होता है। फॉर एग्जाम्पल, इज इट नॉट द फैक्ट कि हमेशा हमें सभी क्वेश्चंस के आंसर्स आते हो? इफ देयर एट वन पॉइंट ऑफ टाइम अ क्वेश्चन इज बीइंग आस्क्ड एंड यू डोंट नो अबाउट दैट, सो इज इट ओके टू से नो टू दैट पर्टिकुलर आंसर?
यस, मेरे साथ भी हुआ था और आई थिंक सभी एस्पिरेंट्स के साथ ऐसा होता होगा, बिकॉज ऐसा नहीं है कि दे वुड सेलेक्ट ओनली दोज कैंडिडेट्स जो उनके सारे क्वेश्चंस आंसर कर पाए। अनदर थिंग इज दे वुड पर्पसफुली आस्क यू 1 or 2 क्वेश्चंस which they know that you don't know, they just want to see how you attempt them, how you go about them. So मेरे से भी उन्होंने 2-3 क्वेश्चन ऐसे पूछे थे। एक उन्होंने पूछा था कि रिजर्व बैंक को एल्केमिस्ट कहा जाता है, सेंट्रल बैंक्स को एल्केमिस्ट कहा जाता है, ऐसा क्यों? So at the outset I told the panel member that sir I have not heard this before but I would like to make an attempt. Alchemists वो लोग होते हैं, they turn everything into gold, so they have the capability of making things into gold, and central banks are in the business of printing currency, both are assets of value. Maybe that's why there is some interlinkage between the two. So he said ki this is not exactly the right answer but you came quite close to the right answer, as compared to the other candidates you are closer to the right answer. So like that he said. After that also he again asked one more question about 2008 financial crisis. उस वक्त आरबीआई की कुछ बैलेंस शीट में कुछ हुआ था। So I don't have commerce background also, so मुझे वो क्वेश्चन बहुत अच्छे से होल्ड आया नहीं उस क्वेश्चन का। So I still made an attempt. I asked him, I asked his permission, sir, I am not sure about it but if I have to answer this I would go about it like this. So then he said okay, it's fair attempt, ऐसा कह के उन्होंने आगे पास ऑन कर दिया था। सो 2 क्वेश्चन थे ऐसे जो मैं नहीं बता पाया था, एंड आई डिड नॉट रिग्रेट अटेम्प्टिंग देम, एंड बाय देयर बॉडी लैंग्वेज आल्सो एज मच एज आई कुड अंडरस्टैंड I knew that they are not here to show you that oh you don't know this, that's why you are disqualified. They are not there to disqualify you, they are there to qualify you. They are there to see कि कौन कौन लोग हैं जो हमारी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन में फिट बैठेंगे, रिक्वायरमेंट्स को कंप्लीट करते हैं। तो डरने वाली कोई बात नहीं है, जस्ट बी ऑनेस्ट देयर। लेकिन जो बेसिक चीजें हैं वो गलत नहीं होनी चाहिए। वो पूछ लेगी इन्फ्लेशन क्या होती है, सर आई वुड लाइक टू मेक एन अटेम्प्ट ऑन इट, तो ऐसा वो तो क्राइम हो जाएगा फिर वहां पे। सो देयर इज अ लाइन टू इट।
So बचपन से सुनते आ रहे हैं that honesty is the best policy. And that is a very important thing that one must follow also in the interview because it is very important. So now, Mr. Vipin, kindly throw some light on the psychometric test of the last phase.
Psychometric test was conducted after the result of phase 2. phase 2 का रिजल्ट आया था 11 जुलाई को, साइकोमेट्रिक टेस्ट आ गया था 17-18 जुलाई में आ गया था वो, अप्रोक्सीमेटली 1 वीक आफ्टर। उसमें लगभग 100-120 क्वेश्चन थे। देयर इज नो टाइम लिमिट एज सच, और वो एक्चुअली टेस्ट की तरह वाला टेस्ट है भी नहीं। You just open on your PCs wherever you are. You don't have to go to any center, register for it. You don't have to do anything. एक email आएगा आपको, those who are selected in phase 2. You can click on the link. वो टेस्ट ओपन होगा. There is no time limit. You read the questions and you answer the questions. It's very simple. For example, एक क्वेश्चन रहेगा कि आप जब कुछ क्राइम होता हुआ देख रहे हैं सोसाइटी में, so do you get angry? उसमें 5 ऑप्शन रहेंगे. No, I never get angry. I get angry sometimes. फिर एक ऑप्शन रहेगा आई गेट वेरी वेरी एंग्री और आई एम एबल टू मैनेज माई एंगर, ऐसे करके उसमें 4-5 ऑप्शन रहेंगे. सो यू हैव टू चूज wherever you fit in those options. Now one good thing is कि if you are trying to bluff the system, आप वो नहीं कर पाओगे, बिकॉज सिमिलर क्वेश्चंस उन 120 क्वेश्चंस में ना घूम फिर के जगह जगह आएंगे. और अगर आपने एक जगह कहीं कुछ इंजीनियरिंग करी है अपने आंसर में, तो दूसरी जगह पे आप पकड़े जाओगे, नहीं तो तीसरी जगह पकड़े जाओगे. सो इट विल शो योर पर्सनैलिटी. उस टेस्ट को ये लोग किस तरीके से एग्जामिन करते हैं, क्या वो रोल प्ले करता है हमारे सिलेक्शन में, दैट इज नॉट इन पब्लिक डोमेन, वी स्टिल डोंट नो. बट एक कैंडिडेट से इस बार क्वेश्चन पूछा था कि योर साइकोमेट्रिक टेस्ट शोज दैट यू आर एन इंट्रोवर्ट, इज दैट करेक्ट. तो मतलब जो इंटरव्यू पैनल मेंबर्स होते हैं उनके पास रिजल्ट तो होता है हमारे साइकोमेट्रिक टेस्ट का, इतना तो पक्का है, लेकिन व्हाट डू दे ऑब्जर्व इन दैट वी डोंट.
Definitely, they have introduced this test, so there must be some relevance on that as well.
Yeah.
So that was really good. Any message that you want to give to our aspirants for the RBI Grade B exam who are aspiring to become RBI Grade B officer next year?
या आई वुड से अभी एकदम ऑप्टिमम टाइम है. अगर आपने प्रिपरेशन अभी तक स्टार्ट नहीं की है, डू नॉट लेट एनीथिंग बिकम ए रोड ब्लॉक फॉर यू. अगर आप फाइनेंस बैकग्राउंड से नहीं है, मैनेजमेंट में एमबीए नहीं किया है, कभी यूपीएससी नहीं किया है, यूपीएससी वालों से कॉम्पीट करना पड़ेगा, या इंजीनियरिंग नहीं है, it doesn't matter really at all. I have seen people are getting selected from all the different kind of profiles. Freshers भी आ रहे हैं 21 साल वाले, 29 years वाले लोग भी आ रहे हैं मेरे जैसे, जो पहले बहुत जगह पे जॉब कर चुके हैं. सो देयर इज नो रोड ब्लॉक एक्सेप्ट द वंस वी क्रिएट फॉर अवरसेल्फ इन अवर माइंड. प्रोसेस को बहुत ही सिंपल और स्मूथ रखना है. जो भी टॉपिक्स के साथ आपको कंफर्ट लेवल है, उनको इतना अच्छा प्रिपेयर कर लो कि एग्जामिनेशन में आपको वो बहुत अच्छा आपके मार्क्स में बूस्ट लाएं. जो भी आपके वीक एरियाज हैं उनके साथ एक ऐसा बार्गेन कर लो कि ना हम तुम्हें दुख देंगे ना तुम हमें दुख दो, बस ये एग्जाम हमें पार करने दो. इस टाइप का एक बार्गेन कर लें अपने वीक एरियाज के साथ. सिंपल और स्ट्रेट फॉरवर्ड स्ट्रेटेजी रखें, सिलेबस और प्रीवियस ईयर क्वेश्चन के साथ उसको अलाइन करके. और जब भी इस टाइप के फेजेस आते हैं कि थोड़ा डिप्रेशन हो रहा है, मूड स्विंग्स हो रहे हैं, थोड़ा स्ट्रेस हो रहा है प्रिपरेशन में, तो इस चीज को समझें कि ये सबके साथ होता है. हम सब इस फेज के थ्रू गुजर के ही वहां तक पहुंचते हैं, और यही मजा है प्रोसेस का. अगर ये चीजें नहीं होंगी तो फिर वो चैलेंज नहीं रहेगा. इट मे नॉट बी वर्थ अचीविंग अगर सब कुछ इतना सिंपल ही हो जाएगा तो. सो बहुत ही हेल्दी और पॉजिटिव वे में प्रिपरेशन करना है, सिंपल वे में. टेक रेगुलर गाइडेंस फ्रॉम whichever sources you can.
So my dear students, kindly note down these words of wisdom from Vipin sir here. And thank you so much, Vipin sir, for joining on our platform. And you have really guided the students very well. You have also answered all the queries about the preparation, the strategy, and how to attempt the questions, how to choose the topics. All the important questions have been answered by you. Very great from your end. So also guys, I really believe कि सभी आप सभी की जो queries हैं about the RBI Grade B exam, sir have already answered them. And still, if you find any queries, you can always mention those them in the comment section. So thank you so much, aspirants, for joining us, and thank you so much, Vipin sir, for joining us on our platform. And from the whole behalf of EduTap team, I would like to wish you all the best. And from the whole student fraternity as well, we would like to wish you all the best. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for this opportunity, and my best wishes for the future aspirants.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Okay. Should I leave?